In the beginning of the summer, I had 300 followers on Instagram. Today, I have 6,300 followers. And it keeps growing every day, at least by 100 followers. And the part nobody tells you, I didn't follow any of the guru playbook. No dancing reels, no 15 posts a day, no chasing stupid trends and like all these different audios, no fake followers. I got here by doing something a lot of content creators are terrified of or lazy to do, by doing deep analysis of who I am, who I'm talking to, and what my audience actually wants to see. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly the roadmap that I used. The content system, the AI system that literally saves me hours and hours every day. And the biggest mistake 99% of creators make, the one that kills their growth even before they started. Let me back up a little bit. 6 months ago, I was sitting at 2 a.m. thinking, how do I make it work? I was keep watching other people blowing up and thinking, what is wrong with me? Because I tried to post on Instagram already and it never worked out. I would always try to post and then get no results. Try to follow some trend, or like use some special audio everyone is saying will bring you reach. I was stuck in this shouting into the void phase. I had no system, I had no idea what I need to be creating, I had no idea what people want me to create, and I tried to do different things in different chaotic way, and obviously I got nothing. So if you've been there, I know how hard it is. And all the gurus out there just repeat the same thing. Post consistently, use audios, copy what's working already. But here is the truth. When everyone's doing the same thing, how are you going to stand out if you do exactly the same? Instagram has 2.4 billion monthly users. And if you just parroting and copying the same trends, you disappear. What makes you different from another 300 people who are doing the same trend? And I learned that the hard way. I tried to post all these things everyone's saying. I did trends, I copied the hooks that my competitors were using. I tried to regenerate ideas that everyone is like blowing up with, but I got nothing. I just wasted so much time, so much mental peace trying to do what everyone is saying you need to do, and got nothing. And that's when I started changing the way I treat my social media. I stopped listening to all the gurus. I stopped looking at my competitors. I just started using my AI systems, which I built around the things that my audience wants to hear. And I tested all the pain points they have. I started creating content only for them. I literally didn't scroll the feed at all anymore. The algorithm on Instagram rewards someone who is impossible to ignore. And when you create content that is talking to the target audience almost as if you're reading their minds, everything changes. And how did I get those pain points? First, I tested. Second, I have an AI system that helped me to regenerate the thoughts of the people who I create content for. So the problem is not being inconsistent. The problem is not the algorithm. The problem is you need to know clearly who you're helping. Like, you need to know exactly the type of person who you create the content for, and then you need to create content that will trigger their brain almost as if like they feel like you're talking to them. You need to have mission, you need to have clarity, and you need to have system to be able to create all this without spending hours on content. And this is how I actually built my authentic method, as I call it right now. There are 3 phases to it. The first one is mission clarity. I got insanely specific about what my content is about. Whenever people see my content, they understand that I am the person who talks about AI for marketing and building online business. And I wasn't just aiming at anyone. I have 2 segments of audience I create content for. The narrow one is my main target audience, is people who are struggling to grow online, struggling to create authentic content online. They don't know how to use AI, they don't know how marketing works in general. And the broader one is people who are stuck in the job and they want to build something on the side, but they don't know how. And it's very relevant to me because I was in the same position. I was stuck in the job for 6 years. I knew I'm supposed to do more. I knew I could do more, but I had no idea how. So my content talks to myself 2 years ago. And that's it. This is the easiest type of content you can create because you literally remember your own pain points, you remember your fears, and then you just create content talking to that person. And having these 2 clear ideas of who my audience is and creating all the problems they have and like having the list of ideas that will work for them, it literally gives me endless amounts of ideas I can create for my content. The phase 2 is to provide value. I stopped doing stupid videos which people just watch and they get nothing out of it. I started providing them value in the sense that almost every single one of my videos shows them how AI can change the problem they have in their life. Like, building a plan of like how to start posting online, or how to ask for promotion if they're stuck in the job, or how to build something on the side while they are in the job. All the problems they have, imposter syndrome, fear of judgment, fear of failure. Every video was talking to those biggest problems people have and giving them solutions straight away. My first post that got viral was literally about how people get stuck because they can't get promoted and they don't know what to do. And I gave them the way around, and I gave them the way they can speak to ChatGPT to find the solution to that problem. And why did that reel go viral? Because it literally was talking to the direct pain points. So many people are stuck in the job right now, they can't get promoted and they don't know what's wrong with them and they don't know what to do. This reel gave them a starting point. That one post, I think, over the time brought me almost 1,000 followers. Just one post. And phase 3 is to build the content machine. You need to get tactical and you need to build systems that will allow you to create content fast, content that sounds like you, content that's relevant for your target audience, and also don't spend half of your day creating that content. Because I have a full-time job and I run my business. So creating content cannot take more than an hour of my day. That's why I had to teach AI my unique experience, my perspective on all the topics that I'm talking about. So whenever now I need to create content, I just send it the idea and then a couple of things I want to talk about. And it structures the reel or the post that I'm doing directly in my voice with my unique method in it. But instead of me writing it for 10 minutes, it does it by 30 seconds. And one more thing that made everything stick. Most creators, they either overwhelm their audience by giving them too much information, or they just pissing them off by flexing of where they are already right now. So they make their audience feel small. I did the opposite. I made my audience feel capable. I provided them with so many tools they can start using right now to try and build the next steps of their life. Every single post that I made had the single idea underneath it, that you already have what it takes. You just need to find a way how to make it work. And this is why I got so many followers, because they felt like my content brings them hope and the tools together. And that's why I have like a really high conversion rate. I think almost 25% of people who open my profile follow me, which is high for Instagram standards. So let's talk systems. How do I actually create so much content? Because if you know me on Instagram, you know that I post approximately 3 to 5 videos a day. Sometimes it can be even like up to 7, but 3 minimum. And the answer is simple. I don't overcomplicate things. If you know me in real life, I'm a really lazy person. So I'm like, why should I invent some weird difficult strategies when I can just use the simplest strategy possible? Post short videos, like literally all my videos are 5 seconds long, almost all, 99% of them. Use the text overlay, put like a really strong hook which will be talking directly to your target audience thoughts, and give them a lot of value in the caption. It takes me, with all the systems set up in place right now, literally 2 minutes to create the reel and upload it. Why would I waste hours trying to record proper talking head videos, or like even some crazy videos with a lot of transitions, overlays? Why? When people waste hours to create content that gets them 200 views, I use 2 minutes to create content that brings me thousands and thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of views. The main point of creating content is to provide value to your target audience, not create the best looking video. I mean, maybe if you're like a creative, like a video maker, then yes, you need to have good videos. For people who create content to educate and to provide value and then to like offer their services, that's the least important thing. And before I share my system, let me address the elephant in the room. What are the biggest mistakes everyone else is doing on Instagram that is killing their growth? The first is the confusion about themselves, about the content, about everything. People don't know what content to create. They don't know what content their target audience needs. Sometimes they don't even know who their target audience is. So if you have no idea who you're talking to through your content, of course your content is not going to work. And I was exactly there. I tried to spend hours researching the hashtags, the audios, the trends, and then trying to recreate some of those things. But I was missing this key piece. What does my audience and people who I want to have on my page actually wants to hear? And the second biggest mistake is the AI authenticity gap, because obviously ChatGPT and all different other AI platforms are growing and people are trying to use it, which is already a good sign, to be honest. I cannot understand why some people are still staying very against AI, because that's clearly the future. But what most people do is they don't learn how to use AI properly for content creation. So they use ChatGPT or Claude or any other tool to help them with like content, writing captions, but all their content sounds so fake that it actually kills the trust with the audience. Usually they just feed some really basic prompts to AI, get super generic responses, maybe remove some dashes, and then they post it. And then this post sounds like and looks like exactly every other post on the platform. And your audience can smell this fake, inauthentic content straight away. And the solution to both of this problem is exactly the system that I discovered while I was struggling to grow my Instagram myself. And the thing is that people don't understand how to fix any of the solution. They don't have understanding of like deep marketing strategy, and they don't have understanding of AI, and obviously they don't know how to combine the two. So they try to create some content, they waste hours to make some posts with or without AI, they don't get any results, and they think it's too late. It's not possible to grow on social media right now. It was possible probably like 5 years ago, but right now it's just no, it's only for the big creators. But clearly it isn't. You can still see how people blowing up right now. You can see how I am here grew by 6,000 followers in literally 2.5 months. It's not too late, you just need to build your system. And let me tell you something, content doesn't get easier when you try harder. Content gets easier when you have the clear mission and you have systems in place. You need to know exactly who you are, who you're talking to, and why. Once you have this core of your strategy, you just use AI to build workflows to help you create the systems, to help you create content in like less than 20 minutes a day. So the volume secret to my content is literally posting more videos, very emotionally charged, very relevant to your target audience, but do it in the simplest way possible. Right now, the 3 to 5 second videos work so well. So why would you try to create something else if you already have something that works for you and something doesn't take hours of your time? Obviously, if you enjoy talking to the camera and create all those videos and you have the time to make them nice and polished, then obviously do it. But I assume the majority of people who watching my videos, they're busy, they don't have time to do all this nonsense. And how do I generate ideas? Well, first, when you directly know your target audience, you clearly know what are their problems. Especially what I mentioned before is that my biggest audience is the people who are like me 2 years ago. So of course it's very easy for me to create content for myself because I remember all the struggles. But if you don't create content for you 2 years ago, or like if you create content for a completely different audience, then first you obviously need to be talking to your audience, whether through your clients or through people who are on your Instagram already, to understand what they need, and obviously use AI. There are ways to kind of like make an AI as your target audience persona and just talk to AI as if you have this person next to you. For the startup where I work, I have Kevin, and I literally, whenever I need to create content, I talk to Kevin to see if this idea is relevant to him, which hook will work better. Is this introduction too long? What is gonna make him scroll and not read our post? When you have this AI persona in front of you, content creation becomes 300 times easier, because you already know which ideas you need to create for that person. You need to know how to structure those ideas to make sure you catch their attention, and you can just literally bounce back ideas of him whenever you need to. And right now, obviously, I started to add some more talking to the camera reels, but again, only on the relevant topics, just because this way I want to like build deeper connection with my audience. But I only started doing it when I hit 5,000 followers. Like before that, I didn't even waste time on creating all those reels. I just did all short reels, and that was it. And I don't believe at all in the things that you need expensive lighting, some special camera. I'm literally filming on my iPhone 14. This iPhone is 2 years old and it still works. And yes, I have a ring light, but I bought it years and years ago. That's all my equipment that I use. People like to think that there are so many obstacles that prevent them to do something, but it's literally their fear talking. They blame that they don't have the camera, they blame that they don't have something special to make the reels go viral. I made my reels go viral on literally I think the first 10 of my videos. I filmed them in like one go, and I was just reusing the same videos, and that's it. Yes, they were not creative. Yes, they were not like really beautiful, but the content, the text on those videos, the messaging was so clear that it worked. So all the visual things is secondary. You need to be clear on your messaging and your content in terms of like what you're trying to say and how you're saying it. And here is what I want you to understand. This isn't really just about Instagram growth. It's about building something yours, authentically yours, that's gonna be there for years, and it's gonna be something that matters to you. And that's why the strategy of copying someone else will never work, because you cannot copy someone for a really long period of time. You will burn out. You can only do something consistently if this is literally who you are and what you want to be doing. So start listening to yourself. Think about what value you want to bring to the world, and then think about how to connect this to the audience that you have, or how to attract the audience that needs exactly what you want to be delivering. So every person from all these 6,000 followers that I got recently, it's a person who resonated with the problems that I talked about. They also were stuck at the job. They also were struggling with content. They also didn't know how to become better in as themselves. And I talked to those people. Some of them, like, I literally talk quite a lot. It's not like they're just a number or they're just like a profile. With people who I talk on Instagram, I literally know them. Growing your social media allows you to connect with more like-minded people. Some of them obviously will never stay with you, but some of them will become friends, some of them will become your clients, and some of them will be grateful to you for the things that you can share. And then a lot of people obviously tell me, but what if I don't have an expertise to share? And you need to stop this, because you always have something to share, even if you're not a PhD level at something. But you know, my example, I was sharing the things that helped me 2 years ago. You are already ahead of someone couple of steps. Use those people who are like you but 2 years before, and talk to them, because you're already an inspiration to them. For example, if I'm just starting, I don't know how to be a photographer, I'm not gonna go to someone who is like a Hollywood level photographer to learn from him, because the distance between me and that top level expert is too far. But I'm gonna go to someone who's been doing photography for a year, because they know exactly the struggles that I would have in the beginning. So if you already know something, even for just 6 months, it's already enough to start sharing your knowledge. And then someone would say, but what if my niche is too competitive? I mean, to be honest, it's good to have a competitive niche. It's worse if you talk about something that no one else is talking about. If the niche is competitive, it means there is a lot of people who are also interested in the topic, and you just need to find your unique angle, how to stand out in there. And obviously, whenever people tell me, what if I don't have time for this? Well, if you use the systems that I share a lot, or if you learn how to use AI, it literally will cut down time to a minimum. I create all my content in like 30 minutes a day maximum. And again, think about it. Will you find 30 minutes a day if you know that this will bring you a lot of followers, leads, and the future kind of stability? Because having a personal brand right now is the best thing you can do, because it will help you in your professional life, it will help you in your personal life, it will help you with everything. So if you want to replicate the system, this is your roadmap. The first week, you need to be defining your positioning. You need to know who you are, who you're talking to, what value you're bringing to those people, and what are their thoughts, and how to make sure that your content aligns with what they need. Identify the main like 3 ideas that you will be talking about. Set up your AI systems and start testing. The second week is testing. You need to literally at this point just don't look at the metrics yet, and just get as much content as possible out there. And then at the end of 2 weeks, start analyzing what worked well, and start not only looking at the numbers but also talking to the people who somehow engage with your content, and then obviously see what resonates the most and double down on those. Like whenever I find the ideas that worked really well for my content, I just tweak them a little bit and I reuse them again and again, because I know that they work, so I might as well just use them again. And then you scale, you create more content which works, and you start building more system. You start building your email list, you start getting people on calls. First, just to even understand them better, but also to see if you can offer them any services that can help them. And from there onwards, you just optimize, you see what works every month, see which topics work best, and refine them. But always stay true to your main messaging and always listen to what your audience is actually asking from you. And here is what I wish someone told me when I just started. The goal isn't the followers, just having a nice number on your followers count obviously is nice, but the best thing is the fact that right now people reach out to me asking how to work with me. I don't have to do any cold outreach or anything like that. I have like 100 people on my waitlist to go through my workshop to learn how to use AI the same way that I do. I have people who are asking me to do some presentations teaching how to use AI. And the most important one is just the confidence that I finally figured it out. I managed to bet on myself, and this bet won. And none of that would happen if you would just chase some weird vanity metrics. I know, for example, I could have created more viral videos talking about relationship or something like this, but would it matter? Will this audience be here for the main idea that I want to be talking about? No. The magic happens when you understand who you want to serve, how you want to provide value to them, and you create content that resonates with them. And if you're still watching, it means you're really serious about this. So let me give you the most valuable advice I can. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting until you're 100% ready. Start testing right now. You don't need to wait until you have everything figured out. I didn't. Start with what you have, but start right now and learn and test as you go. The person who needed to hear what you can share is on Instagram right now scrolling, but you're not there to provide the content for that person. I hope this video was helpful for you. Try to implement those systems. I also have the AI workshop where I go in details how I create all the content strategy in 2 hours using AI. I share with you my GPTs, my prompts, and everything I use to create content that works for me and works for my clients. I'll leave the link down below. However, if you're not ready for the workshop yet, I get it completely. Just start using the information that I provided in here and it will help you. And you can check my Instagram as well, because in there I share a lot more tips too. Just remember, you don't need to be perfect. You already have what you need to be creating your personal brand out there. AI is here to help you. This is the best opportunity you have. Today is the day you need to start doing this. See you next week. I'm going to be posting these videos every week from now on. So let me know in the comments what are your biggest struggles you have with AI or content, and I'm going to be replying to them. Thank you. Bye bye.